In the desperate days of the American Civil War, the Confederacy displayed amazing feats of technological innovation. Today, we're looking at submersible warships. Outgunned and outmanned by the Union Navy, the young Confederate nation looked inward, and Southern innovators created weapons that would forever change naval warfare. By 1862, the effects of the Union's naval blockade of Southern ports were beginning to be felt. Not only were Union warships on the alert for blockade runners, attempting to enter or leave Southern ports, some major ports had been captured. The fall of New Orleans in April of 1862 was a major disaster for the Confederacy. The South lacked an industrial base comparable with the North and were dependent on imports to arm and equip their armies and navies. They attempted to contract European shipyards to build warships, but vigorous political pressure by Union ambassadors delayed or prevented these Confederate efforts. But by the fall of 1862, the Union had 256 ships on station, and the success rate fell to 87% and would continue to fall. Unable to build or buy their own navy to compete with the Union, the South looked beneath, or just above, the waves. In small docks and shipyards throughout the South, revolutionary ideas were taking shape. Small vessels designed to challenge the North's naval supremacy. The Confederate Navy developed two remarkable asymmetric warfare technologies, the submarine CSS Hunley and the David-class torpedo boats. While often mentioned together, they were fundamentally different approaches to naval combat. The Hunley and the David boats shared a critical mission, to break the Union's maritime stranglehold. Yet their designs and operational tactics were dramatically different. The Hunley was a true submarine, entirely submerged, manually powered by a crew of 8, operating in complete underwater stealth. Its mission was singular and desperate, to become the first submarine in history to sink an enemy warship. But the Hunley was an extreme solution. It was cramped and dangerous, with 2 crews killed during its sea trials before its final and fatal historic mission. In contrast, the David boats were surface vessels, riding low but not submerged. They used steam power, carried a larger crew, and could sustain longer missions. Where the Hunley turned out to be a one-shot weapon of last resort, the David boats conducted at least 3 attacks and returned safely to base. The Hunley used a spar torpedo, an explosive charge mounted on a long pole, detonated by physical contact. The David boats employed a similar weapon, but the craft itself had crucial differences. The David boats were steam-powered, moved faster, and presented a less suicidal mission profile for their crews. While the Hunley famously sank the USS Housatonic in 1864, a maritime milestone, the David boats conducted multiple attacks and brought their crews safely home. On October 5, 1863, one David boat attacked and damaged the USS New Ironsides off Charleston, and in March and April made unsuccessful attacks on the USS Memphis and USS Wabash. But, unlike the Hunley, the David survived each attempt, proving the potential of these low-profile vessels. Technological legacy. Both the Hunley and the David boats revolutionized naval warfare. They demonstrated that smaller, more agile vessels could challenge massive warships. They were the ancestors of modern torpedo boats, submarine warfare, and asymmetric naval strategies. The Confederacy may have lost the war, but its maritime innovators wrote an extraordinary chapter in military technology. The David boats and the Hunley were more than weapons. They were profound examples of human ingenuity that war often generates. These were not just boats. They were floating declarations of technological defiance. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about the Hunley or the David-class boats, I've included links in the description.